Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're down in a flooded crawl space. You can see it's about 4, 5, 6 inches deep here. What we've got to do is, of course, pump it out so we can install a good sump pit, footer tiles, and keep this area dry.
So there's two different kinds of stone that we like to use. One is called number 57 and the other is number 67, and these are determined by size. Number 67 stone is crushed, washed gravel, and it's by far the best gravel for the French drain and for the footer tile. We can usually get about 4 tons of gravel into our trailer, which is more than enough to complete this job. Because we've got a flooded crawl space, some things are done differently. We need to go ahead and core the wall and get the sump basin down there so we can pump out the water. We're using a Bosch hammer drill with a 2-inch diamond core bit, and this is the exact outer diameter of 1.5-inch pipe, and that's what we bring out through the crawl space. Coring the foundation wall is not hard. You can rent this tool from Home Depot or Sunbelt for about $100 for the day.
Okay, so we're starting to pump this out, and it's hard to see because it is dark, but you can see back to the back there. There's a lot of water down underneath this thing. Okay, so we're starting to pump out the crawl space. You can see the water's coming right out. It's going to take it about 15-20 minutes to get where we can dig, and then we'll be able to install that pit.
We already dug the trench for the discharge line and to connect the downspouts. So this gives the water a place to run as we pump out the crawl space. Now we can work inside. Although it's pretty dark in here, we have pretty good headroom, so we're able to make really good progress. When you're working in a muddy crawl space, be prepared. This mud is heavy. I mean, it's really heavy. So what I'm doing is going ahead and setting up the pump because there's so much water coming up through the ground and through those walls. We need to have this water being pumped out as we work. Next, we'll bring in the gravel. We need to lay a base of gravel in that trench. It's very important to lay a base of gravel. Then you can lay your perforated pipe. Remember, if you're using pipe with holes in the bottom of it, make sure the holes point down into the gravel. Then you can cover that, bring that back to grade. The excess mud here in the crawl space, we do haul that away, but we also grade some of that out to get it more level and flat. Can you see all that water? We need a good working pump to continue to pump while we are working. There's so much water here in the ground. And because we've already got the discharge trench dug, we can keep pumping and let this water just come straight out. It'll come all the way out, continue to pump while we're working. You know, I've made a couple videos about predators, and every morning I wake up just like you, probably turn on the YouTube, see what's going on there, and it's just amazing. There's so many people out here that do such great work, and then there's that one person that just has to badmouth everybody, and especially Apple Drain. For some reason, they think that the trench has to be, dug with a machine, or that you have to have a 50-ton trailer to move your giant equipment around. But you know what? The system works just the same. And you guys can do these jobs yourself. You don't need to have all that equipment. You don't need to go rent those things unless you want to. Okay, so we've got the pump discharge plumbed and through the wall. We're going to continue to work, bring in our gravel, and we will be done here in just a few hours.
Okay, so you can see our perforated pipe surrounded by gravel. You can't see back in the back here, but we're almost done. Just about got it covered up. So we're putting the gravel into the buckets, down into the barrel. It all goes down into the crawl space.
So again, when you're working in a very muddy crawl space, and you can see all that red clay, it is just super saturated. Make sure you take your time. We've got a great working system. You can see the gravel brought back to grade. One of the other things that we do is as we bring that gravel in by the bucket, we also take out the soil by the bucket very labor intense, but you can do this job and it should turn out just looking just like this. We'll take the rake, the last bit of soil, we'll knock that down, and finally we'll put a new vapor barrier across the floor.
Okay, so the sump pump picked it up. You can see we've cored down through the wall. This is a discharge pipe, 1.5 inch pipe. It goes down and it ties into the 4-inch, which runs on out here. You can see it coming out, runs on out to the back.
So we've got all the pipe installed, and you'll notice behind me there's actually a line coming from the front downspout as well. So we're picking up several downspouts, the sump pump, and discharging all the way back to the back.
So covering up wet soil, a little tougher than dry soil.
We've already hauled away the excess. Now we need to throw some seed and some straw when we're all done.
This is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. You might get a little bit muddy, but you can do it.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Help us reach our 100,000 subscriber goal. We're almost there. And take a look at this video. It's made just for you.